Welcome to 101 East. I'm Steve Chow. In Thailand, getting up close to jungle animals is one of the most popular attractions on the tourist trail. Whether it's riding an elephant, patting a tiger, feeding a monkey, you can do it all in Thailand. But in the rush to meet tourist demand and make profits, animals are often mistreated and neglected. This week, Drew Ambrose heads to Thailand to find out whether a new law will make a difference in a country where animal abuse is big business.
In many countries, performances like these are outlawed. Not in Thailand. This orangutan show at Bangkok's biggest zoo, Safari World, brings plenty of tourists and laughter in the land of smiles. But is this animal cruelty? It depends, says the man charged with protecting Thailand's animals.
This is sometimes hard to say. The orangutan boxing is the kind of the show. They're not really kicked. They're not really punched. They're not hurt. Not the cruelty of the animal. Other people might think in different way.
The trainers often, hit the ape on the back of the head to make it do things. The trainer as well, to encourage them to fight.
No, they're not really hit. Like a pretend to get angry with the animal.
I think people on holidays like to believe that everything is fun and everything is a holiday.
Edwin Wigg, a renowned wildlife protector, says cruelty is rife in Thailand's animal parks.
It's very acceptable for most people on their Facebook or on their Twitter account to have a selfie with a tiger or with a gibbon on the beach. People make these photographs without actually realizing what's really going on. The money being made in this business is still so large. There's still a huge amount of animals being taken out of the wild to end up in these performances. And animals are still being tortured on a quite big scale.
Thailand's bustling capital, Bangkok, is a city of shopping malls. But this department store is a little bit different.
I've never been in a shopping mall with a zoo on the top floor before.
Pata Zoo's big draw card is a gorilla called Bornoi, meaning little lotus. Imported from Germany 27 years ago, this cage is her home. The conditions here are so bleak that 50,000 people signed a petition to shut this place down. But the owner defends his zoo.
I mean, don't you think it's a bit cruel?
NGOs keep spreading misinformation that our gorilla should be released into the wild. But there are civil wars and Ebola out there. Just read National Geographic magazine. We take good care of this gorilla. People should focus on their plight in the wild.
Showing me around his rooftop zoo, Kanit tells me of his successful breeding program and the cleanliness of the cages. But they're small and mainly concrete.
I know there's no proper regulations on the amount of space needed to house an animal. It's up to entrepreneurs to determine what is optimal space. Those of us in the animal business love animals. It's here for society, not business. We use our best judgment, but Europe has been running zoos for 200 years. We are just at the beginning.
To attract visitors, the zoo also features animal performances. Today's show stars a 7-year-old orangutan who's clearly had enough.
50 กิโลเดี๋ยวเรามาลุ้นกันขึ้นไหมพร้อมยกฟังนับขึ้นไหม1 2 3ฮึบขึ้นไหม กเองมายกก็ไม่เป็นไรนะ
But soon, such spectacles could end. Thailand recently passed laws making cruelty to all animals illegal, with a penalty of up to 2 years in jail and hefty fines.
Can you tell me through this new law how Thailand and its animals benefit?
We can control the public zoo. For example, when they use the animal for the entertainment. We have to control them not to harm the animal.
But Edwin Wigg says the new laws are light on detail.
Once you start reading that piece of paper, you actually realize that it's a toothless tiger. There's nothing in there. What's actually really written in those 6 papers here is what an animal is, what the law means, and there's a small paragraph on torture, but it doesn't really define what torture is. Is it discomfort? Is it pain?
Thailand already has existing laws against the exploitation of wild animals, but few seem to follow them. Certainly not at Kanchanaburi's Tiger Temple, one of the biggest tourist attractions in Thailand. It started in the 90s when the monks here took in a sick tiger cub. Today, there's 144 tigers and growing. Every day, up to 1,000 people make the 3-hour journey here from Bangkok. They pay $15 to get in, even though the temple is not allowed to charge admission. Before the tourists leave, they pay much, much more.
Ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon to all of you and welcome to the Tiger Temple. You will be meeting tigers at the size of a big dog. If you like cuddling things, if you like fluffy things, this is the one for you guys. And it will cost 1,000 baht per person.
You can also make a donation, the only charge that's legal. Mind you, the tourists seem happy with the deal.
At home, it's like you do not go near the animals, you can't. And so here it's like a different experience just because it's out in the open. They're not caged in. Just to say, I pet a tiger. Like, how many of your friends have actually touched a tiger? Okay, you got me? Yeah, I got you. Okay.
How do you feel about the tigers being used for photographs and being chained up?
I think it's not the right thing to do that. You know, really dangerous for people to go closely to the tiger, even though the temple said the tiger is very calm and but still tiger is a tiger, it's not a cat.
And anyone can be a target. In May, one of the temple's monks was mauled by a tiger. Critics say these tigers should not be in a temple. They have no religious significance or conservation value.
These animals are not from the wild. These tigers are inbred, hybrid tigers. They came from a tiger farm owned by an ex-politician.
How would you describe the temple?
Business.
You're allowed to touch the tigers on the back or on the belly. This is available for a donation of 1,000 baht per group, not per person.
Although it's illegal to make money from the animals, the temple's abbot has no intention of dropping the fees.
This is to cover the expense, how much we pay for the staff member, how much we pay for the tiger's fee. It means the cost, the food, the vaccination, medicine, milk, and everything. So we cannot stop to sell the ticket.
12 years ago, they promised they would not breed, they would not make any commercial use. They didn't keep up the promise on those 2 points. That would be reason enough to take the tigers away right now. They were told to stop breeding because that would be inbreeding, it would be against the law. But because baby tigers are so much fun to hold up, to feed milk, to make photographs with, they're producing more and more and more.
Do you think they're exploiting them now?
Yeah, because from 7 tigers in 14 years ago, now the number is increasing very, very quickly.
So it's become a tiger farm?
Yeah, it's become a tiger farm.
The abbot says the breeding wasn't intentional. It was just nature taking its course.
Right now, we let them be like a natural breeding. When there's a breeding time or the sexual maturity, so we let them be free.
So how do you think the tigers benefit here?
Right now, I think the tigers gonna be, I feel they're happy.
The basic general criticism that comes from animal activists who campaign quite actively against the Tiger Temple is that these tigers are quite simply props. They don't bring any benefit to conservation. What is your response?
Actually, some of that. That's true. I understand. We never create the show. We're not the circus. They have a time, okay, to run free in the Tiger Island.
This is what the abbot calls Tiger Island. It's a compound of small cages, home to 140 big cats.
Might be around 10 acres. 10 acres with a 140 tiger, I think maybe it's too small, okay? Yeah, right now we buy the land more, not just only this.
Over recent years, several former volunteers have spoken out, disillusioned by the treatment of tigers here. Then last December, the temple was rocked by the defection of a temple insider, its longtime vet.
You were responsible for all of the tigers, is that correct?
All the animals in the temple.
But do you suspect some of the tigers were being bred in the last 5 years, specifically for commercial purposes?
I think it's not exactly directly to the commercial business. But they need just only tiger cub for the tourist.
Most of Dr. Somchai's work involved tending to tigers injured in fights. Fighting, he says, brought on by overcrowding. Then 3 of his charges mysteriously disappeared.
I think it's from December last year. I know that they sent the 3 missing tigers out from the enclosure during night time.
Dr. Somchai alleges that 3 adult tigers, all microchipped and registered, were sent to neighbouring Laos to be butchered and sold into the Chinese medicine trade.
Nearly the period of Chinese New Year. So you imagine the penis of tigers is more expensive. And the tiger's bone as well. So the whole body of the tiger estimated 5 million baht.
That's almost $150,000 a tiger.
Dr. Somchai has made some serious claims against the temple.
I don't want to say it about his name.
He has levelled some pretty serious allegations against the temple.
Yeah, I know. They assume that we have 3 lost cats, okay? But I don't think so. We don't think so. I've been among for a while. I didn't see anything happen here.
They don't care about the animal, and they don't care about the public as well, because the bad group is just only greedy, hatred, and ignorance.
One thing they do care about is criticism.
They've sued me 3 times, twice in criminal court, once in civil court. I won all cases. I do not make statements about this place without being able to back it up. If they would sue the veterinarian Somchai on the issues of the missing tigers, unless the temple can show us those 3 tigers, of which we know exactly the stripe pattern and the microchip, they got no grounds to sue him whatsoever. Fat chance.
Over the years, there's been many attempts to pull the temple into line. In the most recent raid, the tigers were officially confiscated. But finding homes for so many big cats is difficult. For now, they're staying where they are, and it's business as usual. Edward Week says the failed efforts to shut the Tiger Temple down shows the new laws don't work.
I think the Tiger Temple is a very good example where the penalties are so low. The tools, even with the government, the authorities, they want to close it down. They know that if they close it down, they have to take care of those 147 tigers for the rest of their lives. When it comes to animal welfare, under the law we have, I wouldn't find any point to prosecute or confiscate.
Edward Week runs his own animal rescue centre, 3 hours south of Bangkok. Like the Tiger Temple, he uses paying volunteers to help run the place and pay the bills. But unlike the temple, his centre doesn't make money from the animals. Instead, it provides free care, rehabilitation and a hospital. Some of Edwin's rescued animals need life-saving operations, like this little one.
So what do we have here?
Well, this is a slow loris, so this is one of those nocturnal monkeys, and the ones that are used as photo props and also very popular as pets. Okay, it seems that both the broken arm and the broken leg are settling well.
Okay.
You can see that's been opened completely. There's pin insides here as well.
But how did the legs break?
Well, the owner of this animal said it got hit by a car or a motorbike. I'm not really sure. Maybe the animal bit them and they threw them against the floor or the wall, you know, in anger.
But Edwin knows he can only do so much to protect captive animals.
I don't think I can stop it, but maybe I can slow it down a little bit. It's big business, influential people. One of the biggest elephant owners in Thailand is also the head of a very big political party. He's been in parliament for the last 25, 30 years. Ex-prime ministers that have chimpanzees and orangutans in their backyard. These are the kind of people that are opposing us.
Not even Thailand's national animal is safe. This old girl is one of the lucky ones. She worked as a ride elephant in the resort town of Pattaya. Now blind in one eye and arthritic, she is 1 year into rehab.
Are these common problems you see in rescued elephants?
Most of the elephants that come from the elephant camps that come here for treatment or for retirement are the old ones. What you see with humans is something similar. People get too old to work and their bodies just don't take it any longer. That happens the same with elephants. The only difference is with the elephants, they work them to death.
This is the Thai-Myanmar border, one of the world's most porous, and across it passes all manner of illegal trade. Surely none of it as sad as the trade in baby elephants.
We have come here to meet an elephant trader. Trading elephants is this man's family business. He tells us it's common for wild baby elephants to be trapped in concealed pits. The adults are driven off, and the baby elephant will then begin its long journey to Thailand's tourist industry.
The price depends on the appearance of the elephants. Last year, we sold an elephant for $50,000.
But all too often, the capture of a baby elephant has another cost: the killing of its mother. And before the wild elephants start work, they are sent on a brutal training course. This has a special name: Pajan. Breaking the spirit of a young elephant. The aim is complete humiliation, total obedience. Wildlife crusader Lek Chilot went undercover at considerable risk to reveal this cruel trade in captive elephants.
They tie the tongue, they tie the tail, they tie the leg, and all everything are rotten. This is 3 days after that. They start to see that the elephant doesn't know anything. They dehydrate, diarrhea.
So is this elephant being, what is happening? It's almost like this elephant's being killed. What's going on here?
They train to make elephant fear for the man first. They put in the crust like this, and you see that some of them pee until blood. And this is inside the ear. They use the bamboo, in the top of bamboo, they stab.
Lek runs the Elephant Nature Park in Chiang Mai. It's like an elephant rehab centre, a ragtag collection of rejects. Some have been blinded by circus lights, others just worn out from working. Most were abused by their mahouts.
85% they come with a huge mental problem. Some of them stand like a zombie, some of them aggressive, and some of them you can't walk past them, they will grab the stone and throw the rock to us.
Lek's work has won her some powerful enemies. In the past, her elephants have been confiscated, her sanctuary raided.
If I stand up and say that it's don't ride the elephant, right away I get a trouble. I will go to educate people traveling to Thailand, respect for the other living.
In 1989, Thailand outlawed the use of elephants in logging, but most Thais don't see any cruelty in this sort of elephant tourism. Not even the man responsible for protecting them.
In our country, in the former time, we used elephant for fighting, we use elephant for working. We have seen these people riding on the elephant for a long time. We don't think this is the kind of cruelty. When the people riding a horse and hit them the body of the horse, it's the same thing. That's just to control. But the animal didn't get hurt. But it's okay. It hurt, but just it's listenable.
There is no cruelty at Lek's sanctuary, but there is a lot of love and a lot of patience. What? Today, they are training a troubled elephant, Lek style.
We don't need to use hook, we don't need to use punishment to control elephant, but we can use a reward, and we can use a humane way in like love them and show our love and care to them.
As a little boy, I grew up seeing elephants in zoos and behind bars, so it's a little bit nerve-wracking to be so close to these large creatures. That's what's amazing about this sanctuary. These elephants have complete freedom of movement.
I ask Lek if she ever gets scared of them.
I stay under them, I feel more safe than I walk in the street.
How come?
Because they will never hurt me. But you in the street, you might get hit by the car, some drunk driver. But with elephant here, no.
Lek's approach is catching on. Today, 40 zoo handlers from around Thailand have come here to learn her methods.
เพราะฉะนั้นในส่วนที่กว่าเราจะมาปล่อยเขาเป็นวันนี้น่ะมันก็ลำบากพอสมควรครับก็ควานจะต้องพาเดินตั้งแต่ตอนเย็นน่ะเอาเขาเดินทุกวันให้เขาได้
But just outside her sanctuary, old-style elephant handlers ply their trade. If they mistreat the elephants, there's very little Lek can do about it.
The animals still suffer because law doesn't work yet. The law for animal in Thailand is good, but no one enforce or use that yet. When we contact with the official, they're very confused. They don't know how to use it.
Even officials concede they are struggling to understand the animal welfare laws.
There's no definition clearly what kind of activity to be defined as the cruelty of the animal. And I think this point need to be make it clear.
So the problem is it's vague, is that?
Yeah. For example, if the animal have not enough food, is it a kind of cruelty or not?
The reality is, in Thailand, animal cruelty remains a multi-million-dollar business, a real tiger economy. And to change that will not only need strong laws, but a real willingness to use them for the sake of the animals.